Slack. I'm generating it now. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Will you update on their calendars too?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
So that's the new link. It's streaming already to YouTube. Anyway.
Oh, nice. Good evening, everyone. I'm sure people are just joining this link. Sorry about the whole mix-up and everything. This is the new link we'll be using. So if you can get message across to your friends and your fellow interns, that would be great. So they can join us via this link. People are just joining this. All right, let's just wait up a little for people to join and we'll get started. All right, so good evening, everyone. Once again, we're going to be starting now, and just like I asked yesterday, hope you guys' days were great. How did your day go? How's everything with your day? Did you have fun today? Did you learn new things? How was your experience today? Hope it was good and not bad. So I'd love to have your input on what you've been learning thus far. Okay, so this is like almost the last, say, second to the last day this week. So knowing what you've learned would really be great. So what have you learned? Is there anything you are still trying to understand and you don't really understand? Are you having issues, something that is setting you back, some things you don't understand? What do you understand? So just communicate your feelings, state things expressly the way they are. I just want you to talk and be free, express yourself. So can everyone hear me? Like someone is still saying I can't hear anything. So if you can hear me, please let me know you can hear me. Okay, yeah, I think people can hear me. So I can hear someone saying, Badmus saying it was good. All right, that's great. That's great, Badmus. I hope it is the same with everyone else. I hope everyone else's day was great. So, I just want to know how things are with everyone. So, how is the understanding, the change? How you feeling with the change? How is the new knowledge? How is it making you feel? Is it interesting? Is it exciting? Describe the feeling. Someone said, can we get materials via a documented format? Yes, that is being worked on. So when it's ready, it will be communicated with you. You would know where to find it. So it is being worked on. All right. So good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. So let me just say, if you have any questions, you have anything you want to know, if you have anything that is on your mind that you need to further understand, you can ask the questions and then you can explain things you understood in the course of this week. How has it been the week? This is your first week. So how has been the week thus far? How is the experience or how is the feeling like that you're going to become product designers, full-fledged product designers by the end of this program? How does that make you feel? So just communicate your feelings, like speak freely about what's going on in your mind. Someone says the resources, mainly on Career Foundry. Are we to proceed with all 6 tutorials? When you say all 6 tutorials, do you mean like all the 6 links? If you mean all the 6 links, you can actually, oh, okay, yeah, I understand now. So one of the links is linked to Career Foundry. Are you to proceed with all 6 tutorials? No, just read that article alone. So whatever link that you have on your on the post, read whatever is contained in that link. If it is an article, read the article. If it is a video, just watch that video. Well, all the links are important. But then you don't have to, maybe when you're on the page, try to find other things on other pages. You don't need to do that. Just focus on whatever is in that page and work with that. That's enough. All right, so someone says it's interesting, though I get confused about UX and UI, but I get to understand it well on the resource material. All right, that's great. As long as slowly, gradually, you get to understand it fully. I think that's the purpose of being here. That's the purpose of learning. You get to grow with time. So someone says, please, what version of Figma can I install and what is the minimum system requirement? I think it as long as your browser can run or can display graphic elements, I think it should support Figma. As long as your browser can like display graphical elements as a GPU that works, which most browsers have, your system should be able to take Figma on. So funny, you don't have to install it. Running it on your browser should work fine. So your browser should be able to do the work. So minimum system requirement, I would say if you have an Intel Pentium PC, it would you'll be able to work on Figma. It might not do the best work when you start maybe having a lot of pages on your Figma file, but then initially to get started, if you have a 4 gig RAM PC with Intel Pentium, you would work well on Figma. Even if you have a 2 gig RAM PC with Intel Pentium, you would be able to run Figma. It may just be a little bit slow, but then if minimum requirement, I would just say 4 gig Intel Pentium. If you have Intel Core i3, Core i5, all those ones will work smoothly. So I think you get good with that. You don't have the schedules on your calendar. Please check your calendar very well and make sure it is enabled. Make sure your calendar is enabled to show the schedule, because the schedule may be in your calendar, but then maybe it's not just showing because you didn't toggle it to show. So check that again. Someone said, Oyinlade said, good evening. I was just able to find my way around the entire LMS, Slack, calendar, etc. this afternoon. This is my first live chat and set to start learning. Welcome, Oyinlade. Great that you have actually gone through everything that you need to go through. I think those are the basic things. So welcome on board. Then okay, so Abdul Malik is saying, I like how the program is organized, to be honest, and this office hours too, and the LMS is impressive too. I look forward to graduating from this course. That's great. That's something great to look forward to. So that's awesome. Well done. Hope to see you at the finish line. So it's been great to learn. It's been great to learn something entirely different, though. It's really not been easy to trying to differentiate most times. Yeah, that's how it always is when you get started. I think slowly and gradually you get to figure it out. You get to be able to differentiate those terms. But right now it may seem a little bit confusing. But then when you start meeting people, you start seeing people out there and you ask them, what do you do? And someone says, oh, I'm an illustrator, oh, I'm a graphic designer, oh, I'm a motion designer, I specialize in motion design. Then it starts making sense to you. And when you start seeing the kind of work in their portfolio or the kind of work they post, what they say they do, everything starts coming together. You start understanding it better. So don't worry, it's going to get easier as time goes on. All right. So someone say, Grace says, I feel real good because I've always had interest in tech. That's awesome. That's great. Kingston says, the resources are perfect for me. It's getting really in the hurry into practical classes. I don't really understand that. Okay. Okay, I think the person meant is getting me really in a hurry into practical classes. I think you'd even start practical classes probably week 2. Yes, week 2, you should actually have a little bit of introduction to practicals. Maybe by then you would have been going around on Figma. But if not week 2, definitely week 3, you start practicing with Figma fully. So someone says, is NVIDIA important? Is NVIDIA needed? I'll just say outrightly no. Unless, no, No, you don't really need NVIDIA. If your system doesn't have NVIDIA, you will be fine. You'll be fine, to be honest, you'll be fine. Those are just bonuses. If your system has it, then fine. Congratulations. That's great. But if your system doesn't have it, you don't have to stress. You don't have to be worried that maybe something's gonna go wrong. No. Then I missed 2 office hours today, so my day was somehow. Sorry, don't be sad that you missed maybe 2 office hours. As long as you attend 1 office hour, you are fine. It's just to refresh your mind, to help you understand some new things, just to help you be able to stay connected to the program. Even if you had a long day, you were not able to check maybe some resources or maybe revise some things. If you attend the live classes, they will help you refresh your mind. You'll be able to remember some things, to draw your mind closer to what you're trying to learn. So that's just the purpose. So you don't have to be scared. Don't be scared. You are fine. Right, so Erickson says, please, I have a question. I've been asking, but it seems they don't always see my question. What is design pattern? I explained that yesterday. I saw a question yesterday, I explained yesterday. That's quite interesting and funny. Okay, so design pattern, like I explained yesterday, is just, it depends. If, like, you know what a pattern is. A pattern is like a set of well-arranged, say, components or elements. It could be well-arranged elements. So you could actually have a well-arranged, say, color, a well-arranged circle. And when you arrange them sequentially, like very well in a very good order, you can call that a pattern. A pattern could also be the way or the consistent way somebody has been doing something or somebody has been working with something. So when the way it relates into design is you could actually have design patterns as in, okay, this is the way this person designed these things. This is the way this person has been designing these things. Or this is the way this person arranges design. This is the way this person maybe makes use of design. It could also be, oh, this person used this kind of design patterns in their general design. So I could say in most of my design, you could actually maybe say I always put color, I always put a circle, maybe with a dot or something like that. So when you see that in all of my design, that is the pattern, that is the consistent pattern. You'll be able to know, oh, this is this person's design. Or I could actually have a set of well-arranged circles that I'm just using to give the UI of my design a spice. Those well-arranged set of circles are called patterns. So I think to understand it better, you may need a visual, say, representation. So let me just see if I can show some things. Let me try. Okay. All right, so let me just say stop share. All right, so just gonna be sharing my other screen. All right, so I'm just going to say patterns. Let's check dribble. So I'm going to just go to dribble now, and I'm going to say, when dribble loads, I'm going to search for patterns. So when it comes up now, I'm going to just show, okay, what patterns are. We're going to be able to see what patterns could mean together. So what's wrong? All right, so yeah, so I'm just going to search for patterns. PA. All right, so now I'm searching for patterns. So you see, this is a pattern. This is a pattern. This is another pattern. See, geometric patterns. Those are patterns. So I could easily just say use any of these patterns in my design. So I could have a design. Let me just say design with patterns. Design with patterns. All right, so you can see, so this is a design and somebody's putting this pattern kind of, say, illustration beside it. This design here, this one also has a nice set of different patterns that just give it a kind of spice. So those are like what pattern does to your design. So let me see, is there any other one that is fully fledged? All right, so this one, I think this is nice. So you see this design now, this is, someone is using this to present something. So you see this line behind this, those are pattern. The line form a pattern. Then what else? All this behind this person's image, that is a pattern. This line here, underneath this is a pattern. So the pattern, the person that designed this is using a pattern to further elevate the design, to make the design look more enticing, to just give it a very visual appealing look, that kind of a thing. That's the purpose of that. So I'm just going to share my screen back to this. All right. So I'm gonna go on. All right. So someone says, Peter says, man, I've missed close to 4 classes and there's task waiting for me again. I've just been listening to all missed classes since 6 p.m. God help me. Sorry, you're gonna be fine. God is on your side. But then you'll really get an angle of it. Don't worry. Don't feel over pressured. You'll be fine. Someone Fadikemi says, good evening. I would like to know if we'll be penalized if we miss office hours. Thank you. There's no penalty for missing office hours. The office hours are just there so that if you are not available when one is on, you can attend another one that you are free to attend, or like you are very much available when that one is going on. So that's just it. If you miss anyone, you can just attend the next one and then you'll be fine. So don't have to feel pressured about anything. All right, so I love the live interaction. Some key things I get to know here. Yeah, that's why we're here for you. So I'm happy you feel that way, Badmus. All right, so Adasa says, I feel overwhelmed. Sorry, don't be overwhelmed. Just take things slow, calm down, chill, relax. Just know everything is gonna be fine. There's no need to feel overwhelmed. Just take things slow, one step at a time. You're gonna figure it out. All right, so someone says I didn't mention my data goals are changing. Don't worry, they're always like that. Yeah, you are growing. The more you learn, the more you want to learn more, the more data you will use to learn what you are learning. So obviously. Has any material been shared? Because I haven't seen any on my LMS. I think resources of the first task, the resources are there, and the first class resources are there too. So I think those are the resources on LMS. When you mean material, do you mean like slide? Because if that's what you mean, I would say no. But if you mean like does this mean UX cannot be tested? And they if they cannot be tested, what qualifies them? UX design can be tested, not just in the same way UI can be tested. UX can be tested in the sense that if your UX results doesn't seem to be true or doesn't seem accurate, it could be tested and people could challenge it and say, oh, how did you arrive at this? Why did this happen? Or why did you take this way? So it can be tested. You can try it. You can, like, when I mean try it, I mean like you can test it. You can put it through a test. You can challenge it. You can challenge the results from the UX design or the UX process. So it also can be tested. Not just UI that can be tested, or it's just a different way of testing or a different way of figuring it out. That's just it. All right. So just like showing cohort one instead of cohort two, that is serious. That means you didn't join the Slack for cohort two. You'll join for cohort one. So please check your email again. All right. So how has been the experience so far? Like, what have you learned during the course of this week? What have you learned? What new knowledge do you have? How do you feel? Um, are you getting to understand things? And are you what are your feelings exactly? Because so there's one thing with learning. As you learn, you need to be thinking about the way you are learning, what you are learning. Are you getting impacted by what you are learning? Is it having any say direct implication on your mind? Is your mind, do you get to think of things more? Do you get to see things in a different way? How exactly have you been affected by what you've learned this week? So you need to think about that. You need to ponder on it. Someone says, do I need a link for the community? I've logged in, but it's empty. Not what community do you mean? Slack. You should check your email. Slack, the Slack link should be in your email. So please just check again. All right. Someone says, how does the testing occur in UI? So testing occurs in UI in the sense that when you have come up with a design, when you have come up with a design, you can easily just give the design out to somebody to test it to see if it works, if the process is good. Okay, so I was telling someone today that whenever I'm using a banking app, the banking app I prefer to use is First Bank banking app. Why? Well, that's the lead app actually, and the reason is because when I'm trying to send money to someone, I just type in their bank account number. So once I type in their bank account number, it brings up a list of banks that have that account number pattern. So if you know every bank has maybe the way the account number would start. So it's able to recognize that. Then it suggests maybe like 3 banks or 4 banks. Then I see the one that the person uses and I select it, and then I type in the amount I want to send and I send the money. Obviously, it checks for the name of the person. But then when I go to other, say other banks, after selecting I want to transfer to another bank, now I have to click on the person's, I have to click on a PAN number. So I have to just banks available. Then I start looking for the person's bank, GT Bank, and First Bank can say Guarantee Trust Bank, and say Fidelity Bank can call it GTB Bank or GT Bank or GT Bank PLC. So I don't know what it's called on each app exactly. So that means if I'm going to a new app, I have will be easier for people to use. Now, I prefer First Bank one. Say, get which type and interact with it, try to move around. Whichever one feels more easy for me, that's the one that they will say, oh, this is good, or this is very much better. The UI is simpler, it's clean, all those things. So that's the way testing works. So testing works when you prototype your design and give it out and people can interact. All right, so someone oh so, let me just share my screen again. All right, so I'm just going to do this. All right, so there's a particular day for task, so we will know if we are going to look forward towards a particular day. No, there's no particular day. Just keep on checking your elements. Your elements is the most important thing. So just make sure you check the elements very well. Like just make sure you keep on checking your elements. And It's where most of the tasks will drop. So please check the LMS from time to time. All right, so someone said basically what UI UX is. I'm sure that's okay, what you have learned. That's great. That's nice. We just started learning. The tutors are doing great with the introduction part of the design. Oh, that's nice. That's nice, Olawale. Great that you're following through. Sorry, Jumai, there was a kind of mix up in the beginning when trying to live stream. That was why that happened. All right. Ayala says, I'm new and glad to join this class. I would really appreciate any help and knowledge you get from this group. Obviously, you'll get a lot of knowledge from here. So just be open-minded, free, and then as the knowledge gets dropped, you'll be picking it up. All right. Olawale says, I can't wait to get started and connect too. That's great. That's great. It's good to connect with a lot of people. All right. Lekon says, my Slack invite is expired. Guess it's because I've registered already. Kindly help. Just send a message on the LMS. I complain about it on the LMS and you'll be attended to. Just complain on the LMS, you'll be attended to. All right. Somebody says network is very terrible. Sorry about the network. Sorry. I've been having a little bit of network issues myself. So sorry about that. How long does UI UX design take? When you say how long does UI UX design take, what do you mean? Do you mean how long does it take to complete a UI UX design project, or how long does it take to learn UI UX? What exactly do you mean? All right, so just keep it coming, keep it coming. I think most people should understand what different types of designers there are. Then sometimes I feel like one thing that is important is if you know all these design areas and each, you can easily know which one you want to dive into. Even after learning product design, you may actually decide that, oh, that's not what I want to really do. What I want to really do is to become a motion designer. And then you learn motion and then you become a motion designer, boom. But you have UI, UX design experience, you have the product design experience, makes you an OG, a very like great person. So I think understanding the different areas of design would really expand your mind, really open up your mind to a lot of things. Like for me, I'm a product designer, but I love to illustrate. I love drawing and I love creating illustrations. And every now and then when I have time, I can just, whenever I'm sad, I just think of, oh, what should I do? Let me try to create an illustration. And then I just sit down there. I can sit down for 6 hours and just start illustrating something from beginning to the end. And when I'm done, I feel more fulfilled. I post to people like, oh, this is nice, this is cool. So I find it as a way to like redeem myself of whatever feeling I'm going through. So I think understanding all these things, later in my life, I could actually say, I don't want to be a product designer anymore. I just want to be an illustrator. And then I go fully into illustrations. So the knowledge, knowing about it would help you know when you want to maybe diversify, you want to step into a new booth, you will really know what you want to do or what you need to do. So the knowledge is really, very great. All right, so someone says, I've really missed some classes and I'm reading resources, but still confused about the concept of UI UX designs. Peace, Daniel, what exactly is confusing you? All right, so, oh, Ephraim says, how long should UX research last for? Wow. I won't be able to give an exact time frame because people do research for a very long time. People do research for a very, very long time. Like people could research for hours. Like people could do research for like maybe a research could take a day, 2 days, 3 days, 3 weeks, 4 months. Depends on how the research is being done. If it's the whole research process, it could actually take 4 months. Or if it's like where the real research, maybe doing the interview process, interview part, you can actually do that maybe in 3 weeks, 4 weeks. You go and meet people, ask them questions, how they feel about some things, just to get your research points. So research could actually take a very long time, could actually take months. People do research for months. Because even research, it's also still in this research that people do competitive analysis, try to understand how the product or the company will be viable to the market. So that's really a lot, and people do it for months. Some people who would have even done it like 6 months for 6 months. They will tell you that they are doing the UX research for the product for the company. Then before they will now come and use the results to start a design. So people do these things for a very long time. All right, so someone says, not to be too forward, what tool are we going to be using aside Figma? Basically, you're going to be using Figma majorly. Not sure there's any other tool, maybe Google Doc, but then major tool you'll be using will be Figma. So nothing more, nothing less. How long does it take to complete a UI UX design? It depends on how good you are and what exactly you want to do. If you are doing a design where you have to do the UX research and you have to go through all those process, interviewing and everything, it could actually take months, maybe like 5 months, 6 months. But if the research has already been done and you want to do the UI design could actually take maybe like from let's say 1 month to 3 months, depending on how big the project is, how fast you do the project. Do you still have to do, even in UI, you still have to look for some things, look for resources, find things out, look for a way to solve problems, find new ways to make things better. So if there's a flow now, let's say the way I talked about how to send money from someone to another person. If there's a new way you think would solve the problem, you could actually think about it, design it, cancel that design another one. So the process could be long. So say UX design can take from let's say 1 month to 2 months if you want to manage your time and you're very good and you know how to break things down and do them well. Then for the design itself, the UI design itself, it can take from 1 month to 3 months. So it depends on how large the project is and how good and how fast you can work. All right. So all right. Blessing says, how many times a week do we have classes and how many classes have been held so far? I can't say the number of classes that have been held so far, but then I think there's a class every day. There are many classes every day. So it just depends on which one you are attending and which one you can't attend. So it all boils down to you. All right. So someone says, kudos to the instructor. That's Opayemi. This few hours attended has done so much justice to defining and expounding UI UX terms. Salute. Salute you too. Thanks for enjoying the classes. We hope you learn more and you get the knowledge you came for. All right, so Shine says, can one specialize in any one of these various types of design, for example, graphic or animation? Sure, you can specialize. Sure, you can specialize in any one you want. You can always specialize. Then someone says, I'm unable to register on Figma. I keep getting error. What do I do since it's a major tool in product design? Please help. Are you registering on your phone or on your PC, Esther? And I don't think registering should be an issue. What exactly is it? What exactly is the error? Because pretty much registering on Figma is direct, like it's really direct. Oh, I don't know what could be the problem. So I'm just going to try to show how to do it. Let me see. All right, so I'll just try to create a new Figma. I'm going to try to create a new Figma. All right, so All right. Okay, so let's do this. Share. Maybe all right, so let's just say Figma .com. All right, so this is the Figma UI, and let's say I'm a new user. I want to get started with Figma. I want to register on Figma. So what I do is I click on Get Started. I click on Get Started. So, all right, it's going to ask for my email and password and tell me to create an account. So I can continue with Google. I don't know if I have any Google. All right, so let me see. Which one can I use? Let me just use this account. All right, so it has changed. All right, so tell us about yourself. In the what kind of work do you do? I do design. I'm going to pick design. How will you primarily use Figma? So this is just the process of creating a Figma profile and then having the whole thing worked out. So for teaching or taking a class, for personal use, for work, just gonna say teaching or taking a class. I don't want to join the mailing list. I'm just going to say create account. So it's going to create an account for me, and then it's going to change this into a Figma UI with an onboarding screen and everything for me. So you see, boom, there we go. So, all right, so that's it there. I have my new Figma file. Welcome to Figma. Tell me about your team. All right, so let me continue with the text. All right, so we need to move fast. All right, beautiful. All right, so I didn't get an error. Esther, I didn't get an error trying to register on Figma now. So just follow that same process and you'll be in. Blake says, beautiful. I like how calm and explanatory you are. I thought the calendar is supposed to notify one of Captain, or how come I'm missing out on all the notifications, or am I wrong? Check if your calendar is enabled, and thank you for the compliment. Check if your calendar is enabled. You're not supposed to be missing any classes, and turn on notifications for your calendar. Think if you don't turn on notifications for your calendar, it's just gonna happen, and then you won't get notifications for the calendar. Classes are just gonna be there. So you have to turn on the notification for the calendar. All right, someone says, I realized on the task on introduction to design, number 2 question asks 2 options of splitting 2 of the same answers. State user interface twice. Oh wow. I think just pick one. Check it very well. There could actually be a spelling difference, but then just I'm sure you picked the right one. I'm sure you've done it. So, but then if there's an error, then that will be corrected and to be considered in the grading. All right. So, what advice will you give, please? Is it advice able to apply for job after completing this training? Okay. So depends on how fast a learner you are and how well you are able to practice even after undergoing this training. But if you're asking that immediately you finish this training, you start applying for jobs, I would advise you not to. I advise you to maybe take like a month to sharpen your skills, like to just refine your UI skills, and then you may understand because this course will take you through the whole UX process and everything. But then the UI parts, you need to refine your skills, you need to sharpen your UI skill. So if you can take a month to do that, maybe design every day, make sure you design something every day for a whole month, then there's nothing stopping you. All right, so someone says the training has been done during office hours, or is there going to be a fixed time for the training? The training has already started, so you have to watch videos that drop on the LMS. The resources are also under the whole. So you see, it's like a class. You see the the class drop, you watch the video, then you read on the articles under the links that gets dropped. Then that's how you know, okay, like you're in class. Then office hours are just to explain and help you understand. If you have any questions from what you watched and what you've read, you bring it to the office hours and then it gets explained to you. All right, so all right, someone says for a system used for UI UX design, what are the minimum requirements for the computer? I said 4 gig RAM, Intel Pentium processor device. With that, you should be fine. You shouldn't have any issue. That should be. It may be a little bit slow, but that should be able to take you through it. Bree says you can't download Figma on your PC. You don't have to download Figma on your PC. Like you see now, like I didn't have to download Figma from beginning again. So I'm just running Figma on my browser. So this is my browser here. I can create one tab, do other things. This is my browser here. So you see, you don't have to download the whole thing. You can run it on your browser. So Bree, if you're having a problem with downloading it, just run it on your browser. Someone says, does using Figma on web require data? Since the app doesn't require data while designing. Okay, so you need internet when you're using Figma, and then obviously to use some part of your data, because if you are calling plugins, you are using plugins and you are looking for things, to run a plugin, you need internet and you have to have data. So yeah, I believe you need to have data because you'll be using the internet, and for everything to work fine, just have data. So I would say it requires data. All right, so all right, ABC says the post on Figma is not saying we should download or go to Figma web. Instruction sounds like it's on LMS profile. I don't understand. The post on Figma is not saying we should download or go to Figma web. Instruction sounds like it's on LMS profile. I don't really understand what you mean at ABC. Then Peter says, is Figma only for PC? Yes, Figma is only for PC. So the Joker says restriction for the LMS has been disabled. Okay, yes, I think so. So I think the LMS is one thing you're supposed to register for as part of this program. So if you have not registered on the LMS, then that is a big problem somewhere. So, but if you are able to reach out to the Zuri team, you can reach out to them and ask what can be done about that. All right. Someone says they can't hear. Sorry, maybe that's the network. Can you apply for a job after this training? I would say, just like I said before, just take your time for like a month, use it to refine your UI skill after the program. Then if you depends on how fast a learner you are. If you're a very fast learner, a very good learner, and you've gone through the whole program, and then you've seen your designs out there, and you see that okay, your designs are very good with some people high in the industry, then you can test yourself and apply. But if you're a slow learner, you're like a normal person, and you've gone through the whole program and everything, even if you are very good, just try to take a month to refine your skill. Just design like every day for a month, as many things as you can design. Just pick up different things and design them for a whole month, do case studies, and after that you can apply. So you can apply. Do I need to attend all office hours during the day? Not quite. No, you don't have to. You don't have to. All right. So I think that would be all for this evening. I think there are more office hours tomorrow. So if you have questions, you have things you want to talk about, you have things you need explanations on, please refer to those office hours. You'll be attended to over there. So I think that's all for tonight. So good night, everyone. See you in my next office hours. All right. So have a nice night.